Before we get started, I just want to send peace, blessings to you. I want to let you know that I love you, that you're deserving, that you're a beautiful person, and that the only thing stopping you and holding you back from the life you desire, from becoming the person that you want to be, is you. So please take that in, let that marinate, let that process, so that that simple thought of who you want to be and the fact that there's nothing holding you back can manifest in your mind, and you can begin to make true progress towards finding divine purpose and manifesting and becoming in the seen world the person that you want to be and that you know you are in the unseen. This video is specifically for my warriors, everyone who's attempting to overcome porn, masturbation, addictions to orgasm and sex, whatever it may be. But this video can be applied to anyone who's dealing with addiction or attempting to overcome a certain state in life. I want to express with as much feeling, emotion, and detail as possible so that you may digest it completely, that mindset is key. It is integral in this battle, in this war with self. Mindset, taking control of your mindset and being truly responsible for your mindset is the pinnacle, is the pinnacle. It is of the utmost importance in this journey, for it transcends beyond the state that you're in. It represents the struggles that you will have to face throughout life as you become truly this person that you want to be, as you live in this state of life that you choose. These are tools and challenges that you must master. You have to master the mind. You have to master control of your thoughts, your ability to process information a grain at a time and be extremely selective and discriminatory in what you choose to take in. That's both mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. But more so to this journey, specifically to people who are attempting to overcome addictions to porn and masturbation, as that was a journey that I myself had to overcome. This is important because when I converse with people, when I converse with my warriors and people on this journey attempting to overcome this struggle, I often hear about how it's hard for them to carry on, how they break their streaks, how they're having a hard time with this challenge, how they've relapsed and things like that. And I'm often asked, well, how do you push forward? How do you manage to effectively erase this from your mind? And it starts with mindset. One of the most important things I could preach is not viewing it as a break, not viewing this as a challenge, but viewing this as a shift in your lifestyle. You're shifting from a life that you did not desire, even though your thoughts manifested it, even though this is a life of your choosing, whether you were conscious that you chose this or not, because you're always manifesting. Your thoughts are always pulling things to you that you think. It's shifting from this life to a life that you do desire. But to do that, you have to take control of your mind. You first have to, in regards to overcoming porn and masturbation and addictions to orgasms and sex, you have to make the choice in your mind that this is a permanent lifestyle change. This isn't a break. This isn't just a streak. This isn't just a challenge for yourself. It's a permanent shift in your lifestyle. When you view this as a streak, when you view this as a challenge, in your mind, you're leaving space to return. This is why you're so often stricken with doubt, why you so often feel as though you're not in control of your mind, you can't get porn off your mind, you can't get orgasms and your addiction to sex off your mind, you can't go a second without thinking about it, and that's why your journey is so arduous and so tolling and so draining. It's because you're fighting yourself, you're not in balance with yourself. You're telling the universe one thing and you're telling yourself another. You're putting out that you want to quit this addiction, but then in your mind, you're still afflicted by it. You still leave space for it. You still think about things that coincided with it. Whenever you're in that space, you immediately, by choice, relay it back to this addiction. You can't do that. But that thought only exists because you're viewing this as something that, well, it's inevitable, I'll relapse. That's why I'm just doing a streak. I'm trying to see how far I can go, or I'm just doing a challenge. I'm taking it up for X amount of days. Because when you do that, you're making a conscious choice to at some point return to it. You have to begin to imagine a life and live in a life where you no longer view porn, where you no longer rely on masturbating to porn, where you no longer are addicted to orgasms or addicted to sex, as in this is your only means of contact and connection with people. You have to start viewing relationships differently. You have to start viewing the world differently. But all of this comes with your mindset. You have to be conscious of what you're feeding yourself mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. You have to always be conscious, always be wary. You have to take full control and responsibility of your mind and what you think. A couple of tips to doing this that I recommend is, first, changing your inner talk. This is a idea or a process first spoken to me by Neville Goddard. If you haven't seen his videos on YouTube, I definitely, well, not his videos, but if you haven't heard recordings of his speakings or some of his audio tapes, a quick YouTube search will do you well. Simply type in Neville Goddard into the search bar. All of his videos will come up, and just check them out. But specifically, the one I'm referring to is one reposition for the camera. Let's get all the way comfortable. The video that I'm referring to is one where he's talking about how to change your inner talk, how you speak to yourself. Everything that we manifest externally starts internally. Everything that we manifest into the seen starts in the unseen. If your mindset is very negative, you're constantly thinking of negative thoughts, your inner talk is that it's inevitable that you relapse, that you take no responsibility for this, that you're the victim. Why is the world against you? Why did the world create this for you to be afflicted? Why does it feel like no one else is suffering what you suffer? If that's your mindset, if that's the talk that you have, you're not hearing people say positive things about you. You're not imagining and creating scenarios where people say positive things about you, where they compliment you on your bravery, your courage, and your strength for taking up this journey, then of course you're going to manifest negative results. You're going to remain in a space where you're stuck in negativity, where you're stuck in undesirable and unwanted manifestations. You have to first change your inner talk, change how you speak to yourself, change how you anticipate results from experiences and interactions. It's so very simple, but so few of us have that faith and belief in self. To have faith and belief in self is to have faith and belief in God. God isn't an external being. He isn't something external from us. God is internal. We are God. So to say that you don't have faith in self is to say that you don't have faith in God, and vice versa. To say that you don't have faith in the divine is to say that you don't have faith in yourself. So you have to have that inner faith, that inner strength, that inner bravery, and that inner courage to first formulate in the unseen, and then to live in it. To truly live in it and have faith in the things that you create in your mind. So do that. Create a positive mindscape. Think positively about this journey. Compliment yourself on your courage and your bravery. Hear the voices of your friends or people that you care about, your family, your friends, people you've interacted with, people you want to meet, whoever it has to be. It could be yourself. Visualize yourself. This is one of the most powerful tools for me. Visualize the self that you want to be talking to yourself now, and visualize the self that you want to be complimenting you on your strength, complimenting you on your journey, complimenting you on your bravery, telling you to keep it up, telling you to don't quit. That's powerful because you're validating yourself. You're giving yourself strength. You're returning that love to yourself. You're beginning to change your perspective of yourself through conversations with self into something more positive. So that's a very powerful tool I recommend. Do it. Do it now. I want you to pause this video. I want you to sit back, and in your mind, I want you to live in it. I want you to see it. I want you to smell it. I want you to feel it. Have that conversation with yourself. See the self that you know you are, the self that you want to be, the self that you want to become, and have that conversation with yourself. Tell yourself that you're brave. Tell yourself that you're strong. Tell yourself not to quit. Tell yourself to keep going. These are the steps you need to take to change your mindset. Once you change your mindset, everything else falls in line. Once you clean up your mindscape, everything else falls in order. So that's the first step towards making this a fruitful journey and guaranteeing you don't relapse. guaranteeing that you don't fall back into lower self. Another tool or tactic that you can use is to replace one habit with another. Replace this negative or undesired habit with a habit that's going to lead to something that you desire. Whether that's working out, whether that's learning new things, whether that's learning about self, taking up astrology, following that hobby that you always want to try, chasing your passion, doing the things that you often told yourself you weren't good enough to do, or you weren't deserving enough to manifest. The things that you said, that could never be me. Yeah, I love music, but I could never make music. Like, no one would ever accept me. Why would no one accept you? Well, first off, you don't accept yourself. You see what I'm saying? It's that negative mindset. When you flip things like that and say, hey, I have this passion that I want to do, and everybody's going to love me for it. I'm going to have this passion, and people are going to embrace me. I'm going to show the world my gifts, my creativity, my divinity, and people are going to embrace me and love me for it, and compliment me for my strength and my bravery to show myself to the world. It all starts there. So start. Find that passion. Find that hobby that you always want to do, and I want you to take it up today. Like, take action, tangible action today. Replace this negative habit, this wasteful habit of viewing porn, wasting your energy, wasting your powerful seed. I want you to replace it with something positive. Start nourishing your soul and doing things that fulfill you. How often do you sit at your job? If hopefully you have quit your job, but if you're still in a space where you feel you need this, how often do you sit at your job and hate it? Hate yourself for being there. Hate yourself for subjecting yourself to something you know you're above, something that you know isn't for you. You feel me? Instead of living in that space, create a new space for yourself. Take a chance. For drastic change, you have to take drastic action. Take a chance. You owe it to yourself. You owe yourself that faith. You owe yourself that belief. So begin to chase the things that you want. So yes, those are the two best tips that I can give you guys so that you may never relapse, so that your journey may be long and fruitful. Mindset is integral. Changing your mindset, it's the most important key I could give, as it, especially within this journey, as it's detrimental. Like, you need it. Mindset is just the pinnacle. It's the best thing that I can tell you, because if you change your mindset, then things like relapses, things like fear and doubting yourself, they vanish. They move to the unseen. They no longer manifest in this world. You're no longer afflicted by it. They're no longer in your mind, because that's really all it is. It's in your mind. You know, it's no longer a relapse to you, because you know it doesn't hinder your journey. If you're somewhere where you experience pornography or you come across it, it doesn't affect you. You don't fall back into lower self. You don't immediately get up and go somewhere and try and masturbate. You no longer over-sexualize interactions and relationships and situations. Sex is not the first and only thing on your mind anymore. Like, these are all, mindset is just integral. So changing your mindset is going to go a long way. And then replacing one habit with another, whether that's taking up a passion, whether that's exercising, learning, whatever it may be, just replace that time you spent doing that action with another action that's going to benefit you. Because when you do, as you cut this, one of the main reasons people relapse is that once you cut pornography and masturbation and orgasm, or addiction to orgasms and addiction to sex out of your life, you realize how much time you spent chasing it. How much time you spent chasing it and how much time you spent performing these actions. You realize how much time you allow porn to eat up in your day. You find out how much time chasing sex and orgasm spent eating up your day. Once you replace that habit, or once you cut that habit out, it's like, shit, I have so much time. There's so much time. And this is where people falter, because with that time comes idleness. And with idleness comes the opportunity to slip back into lower self. When you're idle, the first thing you're going to think about is, well, how can I feel this time? Well, I know how I used to feel this time. I'm not using my mind to imagine a world where what I did before doesn't exist, and I now have to create these new constructs to fill my time with. I'm not doing that. You know, if your mindset's wrong, then of course you're going to fall back into the habits that you created. So those are the two most important things I can tell you today. Change your mindset and replace a negative habit with a positive habit. yes, so in closing, I just want to tell you that I love you. I appreciate you. In closing, I just want to tell you I love you. I appreciate you. The world needs you. The world needs your beauty. It needs your creativity. It needs your innovation. It needs your originality. The world needs you. It needs your best self. It needs you to overcome this. I need you to overcome this. You need you to overcome this. I can't spread this message by myself. I can't teach this journey alone. We all have to take it up. And this is the first step. My warriors, my teachers, my master students, this is our first step. And I'm so grateful and just full of gratitude and love that you're taking it up. So once again, I love you. I'm sending you peace and blessings. I'm sending you strength. Peace.